Hey, friends. I just decided to film on a whim, and I feel that this is something I want to share because I feel that it'll help a lot of you out there who have struggled with the same thing. Um, I feel that we all have times where we feel depressed. And so I just wanted to share my experience with depression with you. And if you're going through it, I understand. And I know that we all have different experiences with it. Some it's chemical imbalance. Some it's PTSD, like it's triggered by certain negative events in your life, like whatever. I understand. Um, and I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, like you just climb out of it, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know my story's the same as yours. I know that it's all different. I know that some people do need medication. I know some people can heal themselves through different things, but I guess I just want to talk about my experience and how I've learned to try to do it on my own. Whatever. So I would say I recognized about junior year, summer of junior year into senior year, that I just really didn't feel like myself. I had a point in junior year where I was something clicked and I wasn't stressed about anything. Every single day I woke up and I was so happy. And this was a hiatus for about 3 months. Is that even the right word in the right context? Whatever. 3 months where I was just always myself. I was always outgoing. I didn't care what anyone thought of me. And I was having so much fun. And it was sincere. It was sincere. And then, yeah, it was great. And then that summer, I don't know, something just kind of got weird. And then it was senior year. And that's when everything collapsed. And this is going to sound so crazy, but it's the dead honest truth. So since I had set myself to that standard of always being happy, of always being outgoing, then other people started to see me as that. And that's what they perceived my entire being to be. So they thought that because I was always so happy and that I would always be that way. So then I put that expectation on myself to always be that way. And it drove me insane. Everything that I did was so articulated to match that expectation of me always being happy that all of my interactions, I had to think of something witty to say, or I had to think of a way to make it seem that, yes, I'm always happy, even though I clearly wasn't. And the more I tried to fit into that idea, the worse it got. And then every day was just anxiety and just feeling so awful about, oh, I used to be so happy and now I can't match that idea. And everyone thinks I should be this happy and I'm really not. And then it just kept getting deeper and deeper. And I had some other things going on at the time. My aunt was sick with cancer and I was stressed with like applying to college. And there was just so many things happening at once that like the whole expectation reality thing was just like way too much for me. And then there was phases where throughout my senior year where it kind of progressed worse into the spring of this year, where I would just go to school, I would come home, I would take a nap, or I would go to the gym and then I would go home, take a nap for like 2 or 3 hours. I would binge eat. That was another way I tried to cope with things, and it did not work for me at all. It was awful. And I still sometimes do it, which is unfortunate, but it's a work in progress. I would binge eat, and then I would wait until like 10 or 11 o'clock to start my homework, and I would half-ass it, and then the cycle repeat. And then it would just get worse and worse. The naps would get longer, the binges would get worse, and I would just get so upset and cry and be so distraught all the time. And I didn't know how to change it because it was like once I fell into that pattern, I couldn't get out of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I was happy at times. Like, it wasn't always like, and that's what people think. It's like, it's not that distinct. It's like, it comes in waves, Sometimes you're just really low, and then sometimes it's really high. So it's, there's not a distinct pattern. But what really helped me the most was recognition in those patterns. And I still struggle with it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's still something that I haven't fully fixed yet. And I know there's some people who come at you so strong, like, oh, it's a way of thinking and you can dig yourself out of it. But sometimes it's very difficult. And I understand that it's sometimes hard to see that when you haven't experienced it, or if you, I don't know, just see it as a way of life as opposed to struggling with things in the wrong way or just having a chemical imbalance, you know? So, yeah, I just want to say that if you're out there and you're struggling with it, don't beat yourself up for it. Do recognize that it is something that you're going through and that it isn't your identity. You know, it's just one of those things that happens in your life, but it's not who you are. Um, yeah, and some things that did help me, my number one thing, it's not for everyone, but journaling 100%, because there's a lot of things that I would think and that I wanted to express, but I didn't want to express it vocally, like talking to other people, maybe if I was embarrassed or it was just something very personal that I was feeling. So journaling definitely helped in just finding something that you're passionate about, which can be difficult to identify, but you can find it through just trying new things or just, I don't know, like through that time, exercising was really helpful for me. Um, and it still is. It's a great stress reliever. Um, and just finding like small ways to take care of yourself. Like I took a lot of baths, you know, baths help, face masks, meditating, calm music, things like that. And don't think that you have to earn it or that it can only be once a week. Like you deserve to feel good every single day. So if you do one small thing every single day, you're gonna, over months or weeks time, you're gonna feel so much better. So I just wanted to share that with you all because I don't know, maybe you wouldn't expect that I went through that, or like you see me as this bubbly whatever persona that I put out, because that is part of my personality. It makes sense that we want to put out our best selves, but that's not 100% me. This is also me, you know, and it's not any more or any less because it's depression. It's still part of my experience. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that it helped. I hope that um, I just hope that it helped, and I understand anyone out there. If you're feeling that way, I'm sorry, and you can get through it. It's so crazy to look back on a year ago how different things were and how different things are now. And things will change, life will change, but you are worth it. You are worth a life of happiness. So let us know.